Hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and it's time for another weekly Ace Attorney anime review. Today, Reunion and Turnabout continues with episode 15, the second trial. So here's the deal, I'm going to be providing my thoughts on the episode, what I liked, what I disliked about it, etc. You guys already know me, the drill by now. So, I won't waste any more time, let us begin, shall we? So, basically, this episode covers the first trial day between Phoenix Wright and Franziska von Karma. You know, the lady you're seeing right now who has a whip, and basically she whiplashes against anything that gets her mad, which does happen throughout the entire episode. We are also first introduced to Franziska von Karma, as she is the daughter of Manfred von Karma. And like Manfred, of course, she would do anything and everything to get a guilty verdict. And I do mean anything. Sure, she gets more development later on, but this is how she was when she first appeared. Ruthless, underhanded, and she packs a whip too, which is a first. Also bearing in mind is that, since this is following the original Ace Attorney, Franziska came from America, whereas in, I believe, the Ace Attorney games where they did the localization, she's from Germany. I don't know why they had to change it up, but I don't know, it's video games, it doesn't need to make sense, but point is, Franziska's here to prove that, well, Maya Fey is guilty. We do have two witnesses, mind you. First was Detective Gunshoe, and the second was Lotta Hart. Sure, there were some things that were missing, but honestly, this episode was pretty good because they kept the pacing at a consistent rate. It was consistent all around, with the trial moving at a breakneck speed, like at a normal breakneck speed. It was actually alright, and I liked it a lot. Not to mention, Phoenix, the judge, they were all suffering massive whiplash from Franziska's whip. And her whip knows no mercy. I kid you not. She even has her own version of a wind blast attack, or rather, she has two versions actually. The first version basically consists of whipping over and over and then send Phoenix back. The second one was her usual objection chant, which pushed Phoenix right back yet again. It is, without a doubt, incredible. And even she gets a taste of her own medicine because of the wind blast. Other than that, the episode was alright, although I do believe what I also liked about it is that it also detected a hint of foreshadowing. There were two instances, like midway through the episode where Morgan Fay had a talk with Aini Mine, and you can obviously tell from one scene alone that you see Aini Mine's eyes open. Normally she doesn't have that, her eyes were shut, but when you saw her eyes open then you know that something devious was up. Then at the end of the episode, you saw Morgan Fay holding a picture of Misty. That is also another example of foreshadowing. Though if you played the video games already, chances are you already know. And I can tell this is only a sign of what's yet to come. Now, if only I wonder if we'll be able to get our hands on a second season, because I remember a comment on a YouTube video saying that the first season would consist of Phoenix, like Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. Unfortunately, this anime is only covering the first two games, Ace Attorney and Justice for All, but they're following the original ones, not the ones that we know nowadays. However, there were some things I didn't really like, mind you. I felt that the pacing was a bit, breakneck, though honestly, it was a bit too fast. Yes, there was some time for testimony and cross-examination between the two witnesses, but it just kept on moving fast, quick. Chances are, if you played the games, you already know. But I like how things were coming along nicely. Although my favorite moment for me was during the trial when Pearl Fay channeled Mia. Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen, how Mia would come looking like that. I mean, wow, I literally went nuts. And another thing, regarding the suspect, the one who shot Dr. Gray at how she looked, I'm beginning to wonder regarding the blood spatter, did she just put the blood all over her outfit like that? It was just wrong. I'm beginning to wonder if all that was probably planned from the beginning just to frame Maya. Yes, I will say here, this is the second time Maya ends up getting in trouble. And it will not be the last. If you don't believe me, then you guys should watch my playthrough of Trials and Tribulations and you'll see why. Anyway, bottom line, I did enjoy the episode a lot, and I did already mention my favorite part with Pearl channeling Mia and saying that her clothes were a bit small, but it also revealed some much needed cleavage. Even Phoenix was surprised by that. And the judge, which I can't honestly blame him. I just can't because maybe he kinda liked that. Although it did not fly well with Franziska, as he got whipped for her efforts. I mean, wow. But yeah, this week's episode was okay. It was pretty good at best. There was some stuff not really missing, but all in all, it was kind of consistent. And yes, there was some stuff that was missing because in the last episode, there was never a bit where Phoenix Wright talked with Maya/Mia. And then in the trial, Franziska mentions that. It didn't happen here. Yes, I know they are taking liberties with the source material, but yeah, I just wish they would keep it a consistent a consistent pace. I apologize if I'm stuttering at the moment because as I've been busy with a lot of other things, this is what happens. And plus I'm running for time, so I gotta make everything count. But yeah, there were some stuff that were missing, especially stuff that isn't consistent with what I mentioned with last week's episode with no meeting between Phoenix and Maya. They did meet last week's episode, but I'm talking about the one involving Mia Fey and what happened in the end when she reveals that she has psych box. Remember, last week's episode, Phoenix did not get the Magatama, and I feel this is going to create an inconsistency later on. I don't know why, but I just feel like it will. I only hope that next week's episode is when Phoenix does get the Magatama and we actually do see the psych locks in action. Because it is an Ace Attorney without the Magatama, and if they're not going to include that, then I know something's going to go wrong here. And yes, there are only like 9 episodes left, so I only hope they implement it before it's too late. Otherwise, it'll make one of them later moments in the game feel meaningless. I don't know why. I just have this hunch that if they're not going to be implementing the Magatama bit, it just won't feel right. But whatever, it's just opinions and everything. It was a pretty good episode, complaints aside, so yeah. That's it for my review for this week's episode of the Ace Attorney anime. I apologize if, I've been sputtering with my commentary on my thoughts on it. I was able to watch it when I can, so providing my thoughts on it isn't easy unless I take notes. I will make do of that with next week's episode. As always, if you enjoy this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope to hear what you guys think of the episode in the comments, and I will see you guys next week. This is Mega Man NG, signing off. Peace out.